What's up, guys? It's the Red Hawk Director, and it's time for my first Q&A on the channel. I wanted to get this up today. I got up to 200 subscribers, but unfortunately that happened on Saturday, and I was away all weekend, which rendered me unable to record until today, which is Monday the 17th. If it's up a little bit later than 1 p.m., I apologize, but I do have to edit this and all, so I hope you guys understand. But anyway, you guys came up with some damn good questions. So enjoy this dumb Rocket League gameplay that I have in the background, and let me dive right on in. So Ethan Hunt asks, when did you get into Monster Cat? So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a different origin story than most Monster Cat fans. There's a group of guys who play Minecraft together on YouTube called Minecrack, and they play what's called UHC, which is a PvP game where there's no health regeneration allowed. Really fun. I enjoy it. There was just recently a season that completed. There's 26 seasons of it, so if you like Minecraft and you don't like the annoying, like, Scott has Minecraft kind of guys, and Minecraft's pretty sweet. But anyway, one of the members, his name is Pause on Pause, used a couple Monster Cat songs as intros. He used Till It's Over in one, he used I Remember in one, he used FTW by Let's Be Friends. And I liked those songs, and I was like, oh, this is pretty catchy. And then at some point, I decided to look at some of the label songs as a whole, and I discovered that I really like this kind of music, because I wasn't really a huge EDM guy before. I'll talk about that later. So when I first got into it, I listened to mostly electro, which, you know, I came in around 019, so like late 2014, I guess. But around early 2015, I quit being a filthy casual, and I started listening to pretty much everything. And I had heard some songs before, like I'd heard Flight at points, I'd heard Bad Pitched and Disconnected, and etc. But that's when I first actually started like legitimately listening to it. So I hope that answers your question, Ethan. Second question, or two questions, I guess, comes from Suicidal Penguin. He asks, how did you get inspired to do your kind of videos? My first videos were, oh man, I don't even like talking about these. They were really shitty top 10 rankings for albums. So like, you know, top 10 songs on like 007. This was before I did my current ranking of like ranking every single song on every single album. The problem with these, besides the fact that my music taste changed quite a bit, is that I played the entire song. So these were like 50-minute videos, and I got to around 0:15. I was doing one a week, and then at some point Hawksy commented on, I think, 0:15, and he said like, dude, this is pretty bad, you should be playing the entire thing or whatever. And around this time my laptop broke. I've talked about that before, and so for about 2 months I was just thinking like, alright, if I want to become a Monster Cat channel, and by that I mean if I want to do this kind of stuff more than once a week, I should make it good. And when I got the ability to actually make lists, I mostly got inspiration from Hawksy, Monster Cat Lists, and Malicious, who is now known as Suicidal Penguin, who asks his second question, any new series? Well, I guess Monster Cat wise, after I do the remix EP rankings, I'll eventually rank every song on every normal EP, at least everyone more than like 2 songs. But other than that, I want to get back into Let's Playing at some point, because you'll notice I do have like gaming videos, but not as many anymore. That's just because I don't really have the drive to do it anymore, and I don't really have the time either. However, when Civilization 6 comes out for Mac, expect at least 1 or 2 playthroughs on this channel. That's really all I have planned. I have a couple series that are on hold, and I don't know if I'll get back to them. That being Pokemon and Mega Man. I may get back to those at some point, I have no idea. So thank you for the questions. Next up is Master Cheese, and he asks favorite artist. And I will do a favorite artist countdown at some point, but since I don't really have one definitive answer, I think I can answer this now. Because if I go by music I enjoy listening to the most, it's gotta be Muzzy. And I'll talk about that later. And if I go by who I think is the most talented and makes like legitimately the best music, I would probably say Haywire. Top 3 labels, Monster Cat's obviously number 1. Number 2 and 3 are probably, well, number 2 is probably Ram Records, because they have really solid D&B, and number 3 would be Liquicity or whatever, however you pronounce it. For pretty much the same reason, except as the name would indicate, they have more liquid D&B. So I hope that answers your question. Stanley Cave asks, first album you've ever bought or downloaded? Well, this is a hard choice for me because I've always used Spotify to stream these songs and these albums, so I've never really bought a Monstercat album in a traditional sense. So I guess I would say 019, because it's the first album I really listened to front to back, but like I said, this is kind of a difficult question for me to personally answer, but thanks for it. It's a good question. Next up, we got Inksane's Lists. I'm dumb. He asks, why do you like Muzzy and D&B so much? And I'll be honest, I don't really know how to answer the D&B question. I just kind of like it. I don't know if it's the drum pattern or the faster tempo or the fact that most of the artists making these songs are really talented to me. But I like pretty much every D&B song on the label, except for the Rusko remix. And I listen to mostly D&B outside the label as far as EDM goes. I like Muzzy so much because he makes the kind of D&B I like the most, being heavier, sometimes epic D&B. But when he goes liquid, I really like that too. It's how much I like Timberwolf and Calling Out. I just like him as a producer, I guess. It's a shitty answer, and I apologize, but it's kind of hard to convey much more. His second question, which may be my favorite question of all these, it's a good question. He asks, if you would bring back one Monstercat artist from 2011 to 2012, what would it be? And you know, there's multiple answers here. You could say Ifixa. I don't know if Ifixa counts as being back, but you could say him. You could say Arion. Or I guess I could, because I like him. I could say Insane like TVDS, etc. But for me, it's got to be Matt Duke. He's an easy choice here. I liked everything he put out on Monstercat and outside of Monstercat on his own channel, and I'd be really interested to see what he could do with 2016 production quality. It'd be cool to have another hardcore producer besides Stonebank, and it'd be cool to see some trance from him because he did trance on his original channel, and I liked that too. Plus, he just did really well. I really liked his songs, and I would love to see him back. So Ethany asks, or Ethany, you're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that one. I've always said Ethany, but I'm not sure. He has favorite video game besides Madden, which it's funny that you say Madden besides Madden because I never really played a ton of Madden before last year, and I don't really care for this year's Madden, so I wouldn't rate it anywhere near my favorite game series. So I would say probably either Super Mario Bros. 3 or Terraria are my favorite games, as different as those two games are, and I have my reasoning for them. Terraria is just really fun and completely different each playthrough, and Super Mario Bros. 3 is just really fun and really well made, and it's like my childhood game, I guess, or one of them. So second question, favorite song when you first legitimately got into Monstercat? I would say probably Once Again by Tristram. Tristram was the first artist I really listened to the entire catalog of when I first got into the label, and Once Again was and still is my favorite song by him. My favorite YouTuber, I have 4 answers here because it's kind of hard to say just one because I watch a lot of YouTube. So one is Monstercat, obviously. Good music and all. My second is Rooster Teeth because pretty much every single one of their videos makes me laugh, even though I don't watch them as much as I used to. And Rooster Teeth is somebody, or I guess a channel, kind of, that I go back a long way. I started watching Red vs. Blue in like season 4. And it's still one of my favorite web series to this day. My third would be Kurt J. Mack, who does Farlands or Bust on Minecraft. He's a member of the Minecraft group I said earlier. His series is really inventive and fun. It's like a travel guide for Minecraft. He gives really fun commentary. He gives a lot of the money that he earns to charity, which is really cool. Seems like a good dude. I would definitely share Bursky with him, that's for sure. Once I get to legal age, I guess. Fourth would be Casually Explained because once again, every single one of his videos makes me laugh. He's hilarious. I love that kind of humor. That's why I like, I guess, Cinema Sins, for the same reason. So I hope that answers your question, Ethan, or your questions. Next up, Banax HD asks, what is your favorite album? It's got to be 016. I did a video on this a while ago, like ranking every single compilation album. But I ranked 016 at the top. I still do. I seriously like almost every single song on the list, except for the Jekyll and Torres remix of Baseline Kickin', and the top 15 songs for me. So, which is basically the same as it was when I ranked it before, which would be basically, the 2 Astronaut songs, Once Again, Rat Twist, etc. on. Yeah, they're all classics to me. He also asks, what is your favorite EP? So, I mean, there's the obvious two are The Takeover and F Minor Factory by Muzzy. Besides him, besides those two, I would say either Monuments by Stonebank, Pink Cloud by the Pegboard Nerds, or Vonk by Hush right now. And I'm sure there's one that I'm forgetting, but those are the three that have really stuck out to me, at least recently, I guess. I'm sure that there's some really good EPs from before too, but anyway, he also asked, what are your birthday songs? I actually did not know my birthday songs before this list. I actually only have two, which would be Messiah by Laszlo and Drive Away by Rogue, which are both pretty decent songs. I don't love either of them. But I also have Monster Cat 004 and Monster Cat 025. Both came out on my birthday. So, yeah, I have a really late birthday. So, I guess that kind of makes things weird. So, yeah, I've had 2 album releases. That's pretty cool, I guess. Do I get to claim all those as birthday songs? Yeah, okay, so there's that. Ethan Hunt asks, feelings on 029 so far? I really like it. There have been some good songs. I don't like it as much as 027, but I like it better than 028. Watch my most recent Madden video. I talked to Gally on Xbox, and we kind of discussed most of the songs on 029 so far. He also asked favorite trap song, and this is just like the artist thing. I will do a video on this eventually, because my opinion will definitely change by that point. So for now, I would say they're Ultimatum by Rogue or Malicious by Slips and Slurs. But there's like a couple other songs that are all like Rattlesnake or Anti-Hero that I could also certainly consider. Namavoid Kundra asks favorite Stereotronique song. I would say Tonight, and I would say with some degree of certainty. Stock and Pole is also really good, but I like Tonight the most. And also favorite Protostar song, it's got to be No Turning Back, because I'm a sucker for Neurofunk. Once again, the VIP of Scorpion Pit was really good, Genesis was really good, and so yeah. Finally, favorite non-Monster Cat song, New Layout song, or in MSNL, the channel run by Mining Spartan and Baseline Kicker, or something. I really hope I got those 2 names right. I would say either Stay for a While by Virtual Ride or Strange Love by Buster, but once again, I haven't really listened to the entire catalog of the channel, in fact nowhere close, but those are 2 I really like. Now on to the 9-question extraordinaire, K. McAlpine. He asks, his first question is, any genres other than EDM that you like? And yes, actually, before Monster Cat, I listened to a lot of rap, and I still do. I like Run the Jewels or Vince Staples, Kendrick Lamar, etc. And before that, I listened to a lot of rock, a lot of alt rock. I don't listen to a ton of metal like you do, Mr. McAlpine, but because I can never really get into too much metal other than like, I don't know, some early Black Sabbath, but yeah, I do listen to some rock and some rap. And I guess I don't really hate any genres other than like bro country or classical or really trashy rap. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yes, I guess is the short story of it. My favorite new artist of Monster Cat, I guess Coven would count, or do that. I listened to them before they joined, so I don't know if they're not really new to me, so I don't know if that really counts for me. If we're talking about new artists of Monster Cat that I didn't listen to before, it would either be Kuro or Tokyo Machine. If we're talking like new, if we're talking within the year, I would probably put Hush in there as well. Favorite / least favorite Monster Cat song. My favorite is Timberwolf by Muzzy. I did top 100, and that was number 1, and that has not changed in the last month, and it may never change. We'll see. But it's for the same reasons I explained on the video. If you want to go check that out, I basically said everything there. My least favorite song is a tough one. I will probably do a video on this at some point too, and I'll say this now because once again this one may change. But for now, I'll say Ruzma by Stereotronique and North End because I really hate Lazy Big Room House. But that's kind of an easy one to pick on. That's a low-hanging fruit. So yeah. His next question, digs out for Harambe. Absolutely. Next question, least favorite Monster Cat artist. That's a tough one, honestly, because There's no one artist that I hate every single song they came out with. That was San Holo before I listened to anything outside of their catalog. But for now, I'll say Televisor. I don't hate any one of their songs really, but I've never loved a single one of their releases either. And they're really the only long-time Monstercat artist I can say that about. He also asks favorite EDM genres. DMB is the obvious one, but I'll also add glitch hop because I really like a good glitch hop song. That explains why I like Haywire so much. Monstercat Reverse asks least favorite song by your favorite artist. For Muzzy, it's got to be Concert Crush, just because, come on. That's an easy one, and done so much better than that. For Haywire, it's probably Permutate, the song he did with Zeros. Just because I don't like that kind of house unless it's really well done. Next up, the opposite. Favorite song by your least favorite artist. If we're going to go with the Televisor answer, I will say Dangerous, which is the song he did with Danica Nadeau. Because Televisor did a really good job complimenting her voice in that song. Old School's number 2, by the way. Favorite food, gotta say pizza, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. And the final questions come from T-Error Elite. He asks, Monstercat takes so many new producers. Do you think it is good for Monstercat or not? I think it absolutely is. If they're making good music, I don't really care, honestly. Almost all my favorite songs off of 029 so far have been from new artists. So yeah, if they're making good music, I'm not particular. But I guess that's also coming from somebody who hasn't been in the family for that long. I'm not like a veteran by any means. He asks, his second question is football clubs that you hate, besides Chelsea. As an Arsenal fan, Tottenham's a pretty easy choice just because they're the rivals. I also hate Manchester United, but that is mostly because my brother supports Man United, and I'm tired of him chatting shit about Pogba this, or Rashford that, or Martial's the next Henry this, or Lingard is the next go that. I guess you'd have to know my brother to know why that's kind of angers me, but yeah. His next question is, have you got some friends who listen to EDM? And my answer is, I have one friend that listens to EDM, but not all that much Monstercat. He's listened to a few songs by them, or in the label. And my brother's also dabbled in Monstercat, probably because of me, but he doesn't listen to him anymore, really. And if he does, it's not nearly as often as I do. And the final question of the Q&A, Pegboard Nerds got their new style of making dubstep, good or bad. And I know some people enjoy it, such as Poxy and Galley, I know for sure do. And I can see the appeal of it, but it's just, I don't really care for bro step much unless it's, really well done, or like there's a couple of specific artists that I like. But yeah, I don't really like it. I don't want to say it's lazy because obviously they put a good amount of work into it, but it's just not as inventive as what they were doing before. Like, the nerds have kind of prided themselves on always changing up. They would go from songs like Disconnected to Self-Destruct, so like electro to dubstep, to like glitch hop songs like Razor Sharp and So What, and then eventually they went into Big Room. I liked Emergency. Wasn't a big fan of New Style. Did a couple trap songs. Switched to the super happy music of Pink Cloud. And then it's just like All Alone is, I guess, bro step and drum step form, and then dub bro step, Big Room bro step. Like I'm not a fan of it as much because I liked when they were diverse. It'd be like if Tut Tut Child just like started making dubstep, like songs like Fell Down, and I guess Queen of Your Heart's not really dubstep, but it kind of has that slow sound to it. If he kept making songs like that, I like them, but it takes away from what he is, and that's kind of how the nerds are to me too. So yeah, basically, long story short, I don't personally enjoy it, but I know some people do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A because it was really fun to do. You guys had great questions, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with my next remix EP ranking, which is the ranking of Apollo by, or Destination Apollo, I guess is the name of it, by Astronaut. So yeah, this has been the Rock Director. I'll see you guys when I see you guys next. Sorry for the sudden decrease in audio quality, but I forgot to mention that you guys should totally go check out Hoxie Jr. Suicidal Penguin, as well as his Monster Cat Countdown channel, IDK, Monster Cat lists, MC reviews, Monster Cat news, Monster Cat top 25s, and Monster Cat Reverse. They all do dope stuff, and yeah, go check them out for me.